"12 business ideas for the future that can make you millions." Most people believe that the likes of Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Larry Page, and other billionaires made it big because they were geniuses. Well, that's not true. They became billionaires because they were smart to spot a wave of trends, and they each found a wave and rode it to the fullest. In this video, I'm going to reveal 12 future business ideas you can jump into today and become the next Mark Zuckerberg 10 years from now or less. 12. Virtual reality. The emergence of commercial VR technologies has led to an increase in innovation. People often relate VR to gaming and headsets. However, VR also boasts serious business capabilities and can be applied in almost any field, making it a potential moneymaker now and in the future. You don't even need to build your own VR headset brand to tap into this niche. You can start creating and also hosting VR meetup events, lectures, fairs, social events, and conferences. What about a VR dating service for people to go on a date without actually leaving their home? What about a VR escape room? The opportunities here are limitless. 11. 3D printing shop. The basic idea underlying this business is fabricating items in low-cost printers. Instead of the long processes and procedure of fabricating in a factory and shipping the item wherever it's needed, 3D printers are expected to produce everything from architect models to sinks to spare camera parts. You could start a business selling parts or repair services for printers. You could also offer online services and education for constructing and maintaining 3D printers. Most 3D printing uses plastic right now, but early metallic printing exists and is only going to get better. We have 3D printed food too, but it'll get even more sophisticated in the future. This means that food services can benefit from automation and cut back on the cost of employees. 10. Asteroid mining. Right now, this idea is slightly beyond sci-fi. The idea underlying this future business is exploiting and exploring space. Since resources are running out here on Earth, the value of rare metals and minerals may someday be worth the cost of lunar or asteroid mining, especially when you consider that deep-sea drilling requires investments of billions of dollars. If you realize that everything we hold of value on Earth is in near infinite quantities in space, you realize there will be vast wealth created on the space frontier. Many entrepreneurs are not concerned with the difficulties inherent in mining an asteroid, as they are already convinced it's possible and lucrative. 9. Robotics mechanics. Robotics is the backbone of automation, where we've already brought up several times, so you should see how important it can be for future business. Who made money during the gold rush? The ones who sold shovels, of course. If automation is a sure thing, getting into the rental or supply of automated machinery could be a viable business strategy. Let's go even further and talk about humanoid robotics. That's robotics technology used to create machines that can fulfill human interactions and occupations. Toyota has already showcased its T-HR3 robotic avatars that allow human beings to control robots remotely. Then there are the robots who don't need a human behind the wheel and are being developed for research, bartending, acting, space work, and education. That puts a lot of industries at risk, naturally, but there are always people needed to make and maintain those machines. That could be you and your business if you play your cards right. Like with automation, you could sell consumer robotics or rent them out to other businesses that require some robotic muscle. You could require said automation too, and that could reduce costs and make other forms of business more affordable. 8. Nanosatellite. This idea is about making things smaller than it was half a century ago. As satellites get smaller, the costs of launching them get lower. That's the major limiting factor. Nanosatellites and the even smaller picosatellites can be packed with all sorts of useful equipment that have business applications. The types of nanosatellites and microsatellites that can be built by small companies and universities will become more robust. We're heading in a direction where small teams and small companies will be able to do far more in smaller packages. 7. Body part making. This has to deal with the use of degrading polymers and stem cells to engineer tissues. This is not about growing a foot or an arm in a lab. It's about growing skin or tendon or muscle. In other words, single types of tissue. But the possibilities are immense. For instance, a Connecticut company already has the tech and they are working to heal ACL tears without taking tendon from another part of the body to surgically repair it. The company uses a degrading polymer placed where a tear occurred and lets stem cells in the blood do the healing. Using a device that looks like a high-tech shoelace, it's braided. It looks like about a 5-inch shoelace from your sneaker made from very small fibers, like smaller than a human hair. 6. Biofuel production. There are different forms of biofuels and different sources for it too. The fuel is so cheap, and to think that it can actually be also made from waste, and to crown it all, biofuels doesn't emit smoke like the conventional energy sources like kerosene and petrol we have around here. You can start to produce your own biofuel too and create your own invention that would run on biofuel. It could be a generator, a tricycle, or even a motor vehicle. 5. Jetpack dealership. The idea is hinged on personal flight. It is actually commercially available right now, but has not been embraced by consumers. An aircraft company is already taking orders for the first commercially available jetpack. It's recreational, so you need to go fly in a field somewhere rather than to work. It's also expensive, stating a price of $100,000. If that price comes down, however, it's not hard to imagine that folks might want to fly to work instead of drive. That is, until air traffic looks like the freeways of today. 4. Vertical farming. Single-story high-tech greenhouses have significant amounts of water and increased productivity. So why not stack them up and make cities self-sufficient? The idea for vertical farms came from an infectious disease ecologist, Dixon Despommier, who turned his knowledge of parasites into a way of looking at cities. Instead of the city behaving like a parasite, it should be a symbiont. The future city has to take a big lesson from nature and start behaving like an ecosystem. By that, he means zero-waste cities. 3. Space hotel. This is a form of space tourism, and it is targeted toward the upper echelon of our world. The punchline is that we are now seeing the birth of the Google and Apples of the space business. There are a number of companies working on space hotels. At the forefront is Bigelow Aerospace, which launched 2 prototypes of space hotels and currently plans a commercial space complex by 2014. Called Sundancer, the hotel is expected to have space for up to 6 people on a short-term basis. A Russian company called Orbital Technologies is also racing to have the first commercial space station. 2. Drones. Next, drones, the bane of air traffic controllers everywhere. Drones are here to stay and are going to revolutionize photography, videography, and product delivery in the future. E-commerce companies like Amazon have already started offering their Prime Air service. If drones become the next big thing, you should make sure your business is compatible with this emerging industry. You can offer your own deliveries using drones, or you could set up a satellite business that repairs or offers parts to companies that use drones. Problems with drones at the moment involve power lines, restricted airspaces, control range, the weather, and people knocking them out of the sky for fun or to try and steal their precious cargo. Can you solve any of these problems and put your business ahead of the competition? Flying drone tech may also advance to the point of creating passenger vehicles. The first ever drone limo service already exists, but it's only going to become more mainstream in the future if it takes off. 1. Blockchain and NFTs. Blockchain is a digital record of transactions and contract agreements that is transparent yet fully anonymized. You may have heard about it in the cryptocurrency space, but make no mistake, it can be implemented in finance, healthcare, and anywhere else where a contract needs to be signed and stored. Another fruitful development that comes from the blockchain is NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that essentially turn a piece of data into something unique. Believe me when I say we have only explored the tip of the iceberg when it comes to blockchain technology. There you have it, 12 future business ideas. Do you think there is any future trend or idea we missed out? I would love to hear it in the comment section. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video.